Thanks for joining us again on the Road Report, Coach. We have our Big East opener against St. John's tonight. What does it do, and how does it change your approach as Big East Conference or conference play begins?
Well, I can't. I think when the schedule comes out, you're not that excited about playing a conference game in early December because it just kind of interrupts the non-conference. But now that it's here, I feel like I'm pretty excited, and I think our players are. I think it just changes when maybe I'll eventually become a fan of it. But yeah, I think our approach has been. We've had a good week of practice and opportunity to prepare. We got home from Vegas last Friday, and so we've had plenty of time to kind of talk about them and show film on them and work on some things. So hopefully we're ready to go. I think our players, our young players coming to New York for a lot of them's first time, I think has been good. So we'll see if we're ready to go tonight.
Now, specific to St. John's, they've been one of the pleasant surprises for the conference, off to a 7-1 start. What have you seen on film specifically to the Johnnies?
Well, they take good shots and they shoot a high percentage. I mean, they're shooting almost 50% from the field, which is better than UConn actually at this point, which is kind of wild. And that's typical of St. John's teams. They'll push the ball in transition, but if they don't have anything, they're going to be pretty disciplined in the half court and make you guard. So we'll have to do well there. And then, they're a pretty deep team. They got good inside outside balance. I mean, they can score the ball out of the post a little better than some of the teams that they've had. And then defensively, he's trying to fit a lot of pieces together, but I think which I think a lot of times is harder to gel on the defensive end than it is on the offensive end in today's era. But I think they've done a good job of defending, and I think it'll be a reasonably low scoring game. I think if you want to play at a pace that they're comfortable at, you can play at that pace. So. And we don't really want to get going up and down too much, just because I feel like they're going to be a little quicker in transition than we are. So hopefully we can kind of play at our pace and be disciplined on offense, which I think we've shown that we can do in stretches. Can we do it for greater stretches?
So one thing I wanted to get into with the Big East Conference is over the years the schedule's changed a little bit. It used to be more of a Thursday, Sunday, whereas now, or Friday, Sunday, depending. Now it's Wednesday, Saturday, so you have these single trips where you're coming to St. John's, New York once, and then again for Seton Hall. What's your thought process on that? And mind you, the Big East is watching.
Well, I think it's the hardest on us because we're the Western outlier. So from a travel standpoint, the old schedule fit us better because, to be able to knock off 2 trips on an East Coast travel opportunity was better than come back out here separately to play Seton Hall. So we'll deal with it, and there's some advantages to it. I mean, you get a little bit more prep for each game, but from our standpoint, it's the hardest on us because we don't have any real short trips, and that makes it more difficult. But we're part of the league, so and we made it. We made it work last year. Last year we were 16-2. So now we had a veteran team, so it'll be a little bit more difficult to see. But we'll see. I mean, we've got, we've got to get off to a good start because after tonight we'll have our next 2 conference games will be at home right before Christmas. So if we can find a way to win tonight, we could be in good shape going into the holiday break in terms of where we are in the Big East.
All right, thanks, Coach.